Oh, hello. Welcome once again to Stuff and Things, where I like to talk about stuff and occasionally even things. I'm your good friend Bradley, and today is a very pleasant Sunday Stuff and Things. And on this pleasant Sunday Stuff and Things, we have stuff and things to talk about, including upcoming videos, things that you can look forward to on Stuff and Things and Stuff and Things Plays. We'll talk very briefly about a book that I'm reading. Some of you wanted to know when I was starting this book by Cormac McCarthy. But then the main topic of the show, many people ask me about my pipe blend cellar. Do I have a cellar? What's in my cellar? Well, I'm going to show you that today. And then of course, we will have your questions, comments, and feedback in hashtag askstuffandthings. So let's get into it. All right, gang, so what can you look forward to on Stuff and Things Working and Stuff and Things Plays, the three channels in the Stuff and Things family? A whole lot. There's a whole lot coming up. So, coming up this Wednesday on Stuff and Things, I will be unboxing the Nagata Minoru pipe from Tobacco Pipes Japan. It is a beautiful handmade pipe made in Japan by Nagata Minoru, and it's fantastic. You should check out that video posting Wednesday. The following Wednesday, I throw a GoPro in a freshwater lake and see what I can find down there. Are there fish in there? Well, yeah, obviously there are probably going to be fish in a lake, but check that video out. Pretty interesting. So that's next Wednesday. The Wednesday after that, I've done the first impressions video for Cult Blood Red Moon, an aromatic cherry chocolate flavored aromatic blend. Many people suggested I try this after I did my review of Captain Black Cherry. They said if you didn't like Captain Black, you probably will like, or there's a better chance of you liking Cult Blood Red Moon. So that's coming up. I've got other stuff that I've already gotten prepared for Stuff and Things. So tons of content coming up on Stuff and Things, the main channel. For Working this Monday at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, there will be a video on sand finish concrete. I've been experimenting doing shorts on Working as well, and I posted a short on Friday on Working about washing off a sand finish concrete finish, and that actually got some traction. It got over 2,000 views. Working is a brand new channel, not getting a lot of views on all the stuff I post there yet, but that got some interest. And now the full episode that we'll be posting this Monday is about the whole process of exposing the sand finish, cutting it, all that good stuff. So check that out on Monday. Really interesting stuff. And then on Stuff and Things Plays every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Tears of the Kingdom, The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom continues. I'm just flabbergasted by that game every time I play it. I don't know how they made this game. The game is amazing, so check that out as well. So much to look forward to on all three channels. Next, some of you were curious to know when I was going to start reading All the Pretty Horses by Cormac McCarthy. I had mentioned, several weeks ago that I was finishing up The Horse, the Wheel, and Language by David W. Anthony. Fantastic book that you should check out about the history of the Indo-European languages. So all the Germanic languages, the Romance languages, all sorts of languages in Europe. And I said I was going to start the Border Trilogy by Cormac McCarthy, and I have started it now. Just started reading All the Pretty Horses. So if any of you are interested in reading this as well, now would be a good time to start. And then once I finish, or close to when I finish, I will do a little segment on a Sunday Stuff and Things about this book, telling you what I think. So far, I'm about a third of the way through, and I like it. I like it quite a bit. But now, gang, many of you have asked about my pipe cellar. Do I have a cellar in which I keep blends? Well, no. I don't have an actual cellar. What I have is this box. This is my pipe blend cellar. And I'm going to show you what I have inside. I've answered this question several times where people say, hey, what do you keep in your cellar? What kind of stuff do you cellar? You like cellaring? You like to cellar? And I typically respond with, I don't really have the room to do that. And I don't, but I get sent blends, I purchase blends, and I can't get through all of them, obviously, and so I put some away. And these are the blends that I have put away. I'm sure I'll get to most of them eventually, but some I'm sure will also just hang around for years and years, which is nice because it's good to get some age on things. So let's just go through this and I'll show you what I've got in here. I've got some extra pipe cleaners. I'll put this stuff to the side. Stuff that's not all that interesting. Many of these things will have been gifted to me by viewers, and I'm sorry that I'm not going to remember each individual person who gave me all of these things. Just know that I am very grateful. Thank you so much. First off, we have a partial bag of St. Ives. It is an Esoterica Tobaciana blend, and I should get to this pretty soon. St. Ives by Esoterica Tobaciana. I have is this unopened? This is unopened. A bag of Ken Byron Ventures Oriental Affair. It's kind of a show and tell episode, but many of you asked. I have a blend of, oh, interesting. I forgot about this. Amphora Virginia blend. So as I mentioned these blends, if you guys are particularly interested in seeing one of these get a video, let me know in the comments. Here is West's Best, it's gonna be hard, West's Best Mountains of Madness. Reminds me of that Seinfeld episode where Kramer was dating the librarian and she was writing horrible poetry. Something like, pressed chest, fleshed out west, could be a something or a garden pest. I can't remember, but it was awful. Okay, here we go. This is Peter Heinrich's Curly Block. Look at that thing. I'm gonna have to get to this eventually. This, I have to say, is kind of intimidating though. Wow. I have some jars. This is, oh God, I thought that this had no label at first, but it actually is McClelland HH Vintage Syrian. Looks like this was put up in 2018. So a nice jar of that, vintage Syrian that has 5 years of age on it. Very cool. I have some nightcap, I don't know why, but a little bit of a jar of nightcap from 2017. Interesting. I have some Penzance. That's from 2015. Put away in this jar. I break into this every once in a while, so it doesn't have completely uninterrupted aging, but every once in a while I'll crack into it. I have a tin of McClelland Beacon. You can't get the McClelland blends anymore, but here's a tin of Beacon. Fun. Okay, there's gonna be a lot of repeats in here, but I'm gonna try to get through all of these. Let me see if I can sort of organize some of these. Okay, gang. Not to make you jealous, but I have several tins here. And this is 2018, this is 2016. So here's a tin of Penzance from 2016. Here is a tin of Penzance from 2018. Here is a tin of Stonehaven from 2019. These are all Esoterica blends, all super difficult to get. We have a tin of Tilbury from 2020. And then we have a tin of Margate, this is one I put up myself, from 2015. So pretty nice having these Esoterica blends. Very cool. We have a nice collection of just some random individual blends. We have, this is Wessex Campaign, right there. We have a little bit of Peterson Irish Oak, an unopened tin from 2018. I don't have years on all of these, but some I do. This is a Nat Sherman blend. It is Tabac Sherman Legendary Pipe Teas. Oh, this is 536 from Nat Sherman. I've never actually had a Nat Sherman pipe blend. We have some Dracour and Sons Limited. This is Levant mixture. Interesting stuff. I'd like to try that eventually. We have, let's see, I want to make sure I'm not redoing ones I've already done. We have a nice big tin of Orlik Golden Sliced. This one is from 2017. We have 2 tins of Escudo. These are both from 2017, I believe, or actually one is from 2017 and one is more recent. I'm not exactly sure. Very cool. I have a tin of Presbyterian mixture. This is from 2019. I have multiple, well, actually here's another giant full tin of Vintage Syrian, HH Vintage Syrian by McFadin. Very cool. Then we're getting into some more really fun stuff here. These are all Gawith blends, and Gawith blends are hard to get. I've got Commonwealth. 2 tins of Commonwealth by Samuel Gawith. I have Balkan Flake from 2018. I have St. James Flake, one of my absolute favorites from Samuel Gawith, absolutely fantastic, from 2020. And then I have 1, 2, 3 tins of Squadron Leader. These 2 tins are from 2017, and this one is from 2020. So, multiple tins of Squadron Leader. I would love to get my hand on some more tins, or both hands. I'd like to get my hands on some tins of Samuel Gawith Full Virginia Flake, but always hard to get, always hard to find. I'll try to track some of that down. Next, we have a bunch of original, well, not original, but the STG produced Dunhill blends. We have an entire stack, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tins of My Mixture 965. Many of these were given to us in the last amazing box opening. These are mostly from 2018, it looks like. 2 of them are, that's 2018, 2018, 2018, 2018, 2018. I have got, there's too much here. I've got a nice stack of Dunhill London mixture. Ooh, you can't get that anymore, gang. So that is a very basic, similar to standard mixture, but it has some Oriental in there. Quite tasty. These are mostly from 2017, I believe. 2017, 2016. I have 2 tins from 2017 of standard mixture, one of my favorites from Dunhill as well. I still get Peterson Standard fairly regularly. I have a tin of Dunhill Dark Flake. Very cool. I have a tin of Dunhill Navy Rolls from 2017. I've got 1 tin of Dunhill Early Morning Pipe right there. And then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tins of Dunhill Elizabethan mixture. Some of these were ones that I put away myself, and those ones should have labels on them. Yeah, so there's one from 2016. This one's from 2018, but that's not one of mine. I think I had 2 of my own from 2016. So having 7 years of age, pretty cool. And that's pretty much it. I think I have a couple more tins on some shelves and in some cupboards, but that is the main bulk of my cellared pipe blends. Pretty cool, I would say. I would like to maybe expand that in the future, but I guess I would need some more room. And thank you to everyone who has sent many of these blends along to me, just out of pure generosity. Amazing. Thank you so much. All right, gang, I'm completely surrounded by pipe blends now, but we're going to try to go to the next part of the show, and that is #AskStuffandThings. Remember, if you have a question for me and you would like it answered on the Sunday Stuff and Things, you can tweet at SAT Bradley. Is it still called tweeting now that it's called X? You can X me at SAT Bradley with the #AskStuffandThings. If you are a Patreon supporter, you can write to me via Patreon and go to the front of the line. If you would like to leave a super thanks under this video, you can go right to the front of the line, or you can leave your questions, comments, and feedback in the comment section of any of my YouTube videos. First, via YouTube, we have a question, yes, from @PipingCalifornia3476. Bradley, I've watched you since 2015, which doesn't seem like a long time. Yeah, it does. But I guess it is. I've never asked you a question before, so here goes. What is that plug? What is the plug for that is hanging over your left shoulder off the shelf? It drives me crazy. Thank you, and don't change. Well, thank you for drawing that to my attention, Pipe in California. It was a plug that goes to this little thing, and this is a cute little thing that Diamond got me. If you look really closely, and I can't take it off the shelf now, but it looks like a giant tree. It's like a little diorama, and there are the tiny little forest spirits from Princess Mononoke hanging out in there. And the plug was for it lighting up. I was unplugging it so it wouldn't burn out, and then I forgot to plug it back in. So it was hanging loose. Anyway, we have some feedback from last week's Sunday Stuff and Things. This is from Tom Brown. Tom says, animal crackers. So I was trying out the Barnum's animal crackers and the Mother's Circus animal cookies. 2 snacks from my childhood. I was wondering if they were still any good. Tom says, hell, son, get you some Funyuns. I have never had a Funyun in my entire life. I turned 70 in July, and the 2 pleasures I can still enjoy are essing my pipes and beating a dead horse. What about Funyuns? Do you like Funyuns? Reading over the other comments, it's surprising that no one thus far has picked up on the pipe ghosting thread, so it falls to me. Not wishing to denigrate anyone's experience, but I would strongly advise that you do not use apple cider vinegar to clean a pipe. First, it's mostly water, and second, what isn't water is the juice of rotting fruit. Don't introduce any foreign flavors into a pipe. That aside, bravo for your comment, choking on my nostalgia. We all do that from time to time. Great show today. Yeah, I vaguely remember somebody mentioning apple cider vinegar. I've only used alcohol-based products, either grain alcohol or 99% isopropyl alcohol when cleaning my pipes. I use them because they evaporate so quickly and dry out so quickly, so yeah, you might want to take Tom's advice there. Next, from Hexeter Bonsai. I used to love Vortman's cookies as a kid. Are those the ones that come in the tin that have the like crystallized sugar on the top, or like rock sugar, whatever you would call that? They're like kind of shortbready cookies. I think those are the ones, and I really like those. And now when I go to try them, I cannot imagine eating them. If they're the same ones I'm thinking of, I think I still love those, but I'll have to look that up. It's definitely 100% childlike nostalgia for me. Seems to work that way for almost every food I tried from my younger days. Certainly a lot of it was just a kid's palate, and I'm positive that they were just called animal crackers in Canada, and we still have them. I find the taste is the same, but I don't particularly care for them. In fact, I remember that as a kid, I would always be upset when I opened the box and some of them were broken. Felt like I was being ripped off. Yeah, and those are the ones I would eat first. I would get my whole menagerie of animals, and the ones that were broken, I would devour quickly. I'm pretty sure the Vortman's cookies are the ones that I'm thinking of, but I'm gonna have to look those up. And if you don't like them anymore, I don't know what to tell you. Next, from Chris Coffey, regarding the size of the Mother's cookies, could be your memory, or it could be shrinkflation. I've definitely noticed a lot of shrinkflation. That's when manufacturers decrease the size of a product, charge the same amount for it, and don't say anything about the fact that they have decreased the size. I've noticed that with Lay's chips, all sorts of things. It's driving me crazy. Every time I go to the frickin' grocery store now, no matter how little it seems that I'm buying, it seems like I'm spending $100. Like, the price of groceries has skyrocketed in the last couple years, and it's really obnoxious. And some other thing that Hexeter said, a kid's palate, yeah, that's definitely a lot to do with it. When you're a kid, you like sweet things more. You gravitate towards, I don't know, as an adult, you start appreciating bitter and umami and different flavor profiles as opposed to just sweet and salty like when you're a little kid. Next, from @NightTrainPiper, the Barnums are so pasty. Yeah. Mothers are kind of plasticky. Yeah. They have the same sort of taste as those Hostess chocolate donuts. Oh yeah, they do. Where they kind of numb your tongue. And yet, all these I will eat. Fun fact, the Barnums go well with essing most pipe teas. Thank you for that, Night Train Piper. And then we have some feedback on the video I posted about sharpening a convex knife, or any knife really, with Japanese water stones. This is from Big Earn Bladesmith, who should probably know what he's talking about. I use a similar technique, but only for the coarser grits. Of course, that's just a preference thing, as long as the end result is a sharp knife. Different way to skin a cat, or sharpen the skinning implement in this case. With those man-made stones, which are better in my opinion than natural since they are truly consistent in grit, you don't soak, but any natural water stone you would need to. That is true. Oh, and Japanese water stones don't like to be dropped on a concrete floor. Ask me how I know. Thank you, Big Earn. And finally from Rejart. Great intro to sharpening. I love my water stones and Straub, but don't use them as often as I should. This is a great reminder to put them on my to-do list. Keep up the great work, Rob. Thank you, Rob. And yeah, that was kind of the point of that video, was to show that it's not really that difficult to sharpen with water stones. It might seem like a daunting task, but it only takes, with one knife, if it just needs a touch-up and it's something that I can't do with the Straub anymore, it's probably 10 minutes max to sharpen the knife, probably even less than that, more like 5 minutes. Usually if I'm sharpening though, it's because I have several knives that have gotten to a dullness that I need to do them all, and so I might take 15 to 30 minutes to sharpen several knives, but it's not a huge deal, and anyone can do it. Gang, thank you so much for that feedback. Please keep it coming in. It helps make the show go. But now it is time for the very best part of the show, and that is where we thank our Patreon supporters. Remember, if you would like to support the channels on Patreon, there is a link in the description box below, and it is much appreciated. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort to produce content for 3 different YouTube channels now. I'm doing between 6 and 7 videos every single week. And the fact that some of you have chosen to support me on Patreon is super, super, super appreciated and very, very helpful. And I don't know how to thank you, but one way I try to is to shout you out every single week on the Sunday Stuff and Things. Those who support the channels at $25 or more a month. People like Kirk Crompton, Glenn Dunnington, Jason Buckner, MDoftheNorth, David Gaudreau, Finn O'Hagan, Ryan McFadin, Arcturus, and Ashes of the Phoenix. And of course, the Maniacs, the crazy people who support the channels at $100 a month. People like Bob Magee. And we'll never forget our dearly departed friend and Hall of Fame member, Peter Straub. Gang, thank you so much for watching this week. Please, okay, my desk is so strewn with so many things now, but please stay tuned for all the good things coming up on all the channels. Unboxing the Nagata Minoru pipe this week, GoPro in a lake the week after, Cult Blood Red Moon First Impressions, Working Episode 8, The Sand Finished Concrete, Tears of the Kingdom on Stuff and Things Plays. So much going on. Please check it out. But until next time, until we meet again, I've been your good friend Bradley. You've been the audience. This has been Stuff and Things on a very pleasant Sunday Stuff and Things. I'll see you later.